Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. Happy New Year's Day, everyone. 2024. Let's go. Fuck 2023, even though I got married in 2023. But I'm glad 2023 is on the bookshelf of our lives and we can now start a new chapter here today. And I can't think of anything better to ring in the new year as we are all hungover talking about trashy reality TV. And I have my girl Tattooed Simmer here today to talk about one of the best franchises in any trashy reality TV history of 90 Day goddamn Fiancé. Thank you, Tattooed Simmer, for being here today and for this to be your idea. Because
You're so welcome. I think my husband just he likes it now. He likes some of them. He has favorite couples, but I feel like other people are just tired of listening to me babble about these crazy people, and I'm just like, I just need somebody else to talk to that knows what I'm talking about.
well, girl, I'm here for it. Before we dive in, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
All right. So I go by Tattooed Simmer on pretty much all socials. I am a Sims builder. I don't do a lot of gameplay. I do it sometimes. But I build on a PlayStation 5. So I'm not a PC builder and I don't use mods or anything like that. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I got a little boy. He takes up most of my time, and then I'm a kitchen manager for my real job, so that also takes up a majority of my time.
I don't know how you have time for Sims with all that. I don't know. And that's why you're amazing. And I hope as this is clearly not being filmed on New Year's Day, but I hope the Summer Award nominations are coming out today. I really do hope that you made best console player for at least top 6 to
Thank you.
start.
I
Because
You
I
guys
will
voted me best console player last year, and that was so awesome, and it really motivated me to try and do more things with my stuff. But I did not vote for myself. There are multiple console players out there that are just amazing and super talented. Sometimes I see pictures and I'll go be like, oh, this is somebody new, and I click on their profile and I'm like, oh my god, it's another console player, and I get super excited about it, and I usually send them a message just to be like, hey, it's nice to see you here. Please don't leave.
EA forgot about us. So
Yeah,
can we band together so we're never
yeah,
forgot about ever again?
yeah.
Okay. I hope you're not if you're nominated, I will vote for you as many times as humanly possible. I will scream from the rooftop, please vote for Tattooed Sim, as this is already we already would have known if you would have won by now. But for 2025 fours gamers, vote for Tattooed Simmer as much as you can, because the Simmer Awards aren't going anywhere and you're an amazing console builder. So
Thank you. I
anyways,
appreciate it.
90 Day Fiance. Also, sorry guys, I'm still sick. The last 4 podcasts, you're like, this girl needs to blow her nose.
You can't.
I can't. It's COVID, guys. Anyways, okay, so 90 Day Fiance. Okay, so when did you start watching 90 Day Fiance?
I think I started it during COVID.
Mhm.
Because our restaurant closed for 2 weeks, I believe.
Okay.
And so that's right before that is when I started my Simstagram journey. So I think I have ADHD and it's pretty bad. So I have to occupy myself with a lot of things at one time, especially when I'm not working, when I
Yeah.
don't have that chaos. So I was just like, oh, so I'm gonna build houses. And I had 2 TVs set up in my living room. So I would have the TV that I would play and build on. And then on the other side, I was like, this is interesting. What is 90 Day Fiance? I didn't understand the concept at first. I was like, is this a mail order bride sort of situation?
Hmm.
What is it? And so when I watched the first season, I was like, oh, okay, it's just people who have gone to other countries, who found somebody in another country, fell in love with them, and then 90 days is just the amount of time that the United States gives you to get married once you bring them here.
Hmm.
Um, so I was like, oh, so I got into the first couple seasons. I watched it all on Hulu, and then I got current with it, and I was just addicted to it from then. I think I'm trying to remember the couple that got me hooked on it. I think David and Annie
Oh my God,
were the
David.
couple that, because I just didn't understand. I was just like, what is going on here? Like, what about this dude? What is it? He doesn't he what? Like,
Honestly, they're one of my biggest, like, think about, like, at the beginning, he has no money.
yeah.
They live on top of I think it was a storage unit business.
Mm-hmm.
So, and now they own a home and all.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, this guy is so gross. And now watching them for the last like 8 years, I'm like, oh my God,
Well, like,
I'm rooting for them.
I could never understand really what she saw in him. And I
Yeah.
do really, like, now that they've been together I do really think he's a nice dude.
Yeah.
I think that when they met though, he was just at like bottom in his
Hmm.
life. And so that's what we saw
Yeah.
was his bottom. And like it was just like, yeah,
Yeah.
they were crazy. They were the first couple because like Russ and Paola were pretty tame at
Hmm.
first.
Yes.
They were pretty normal, and then it kind of like went off the rails at the end. But I think it was like David and Annie who I was just like, I don't understand this. Like what?
Oh my
And
God. Okay.
then at the same time, I don't know if you know this or if like Sims players know this, but Lil Simsy brought her husband here
Hmm.
on a 90-day K1 visa. So like she made a whole video about like how the real process works. And so you should go watch that if you want to know what people actually do who aren't on television. Like they knew each other for many years. She gone over to see him, he came to see her, like they
Hmm.
got engaged, and then they just like went and had a courthouse ceremony. And I think they may have had like a wedding later or something like that, which is what like most people do. It's like you don't decide if you want to marry this person within the 90 days. Like you should already know that and have
Right.
everything figured out, and then you just that's the amount of time you have once they get there. It's crazy.
That is something that always got me with the 90 Day Fiance is they're like, none of the wedding planning is started by the time they come. Obviously, that's fake. I'm sure there has to be some eh, for someone who just planned a wedding. You can't just pick a fucking venue in like 20 days, being like, ah, we're getting married here. Like that shit's booked, right?
Yeah.
So, um, yeah, fuck the show sometimes for being like that. No, you have already you already know you're getting married. Okay, like I know it's for TV drama. Like, oh, they're gonna walk down the aisle. No. Anyway, sorry. Love. Okay, I
Yeah.
love 90 Day Fiance. I think I've been. I was thinking this morning. I think I've been watching it for like 6 years. I've always been a TLC girl.
Oh yeah.
So like Siesta Dress, Cake
Hmm.
Boss.
Hmm.
That was like my shit. So I was
Yeah.
like, what's this show about like this couple's like getting married in like 90 days? Like what is this? I can't think of I think I actually no, I didn't watch Danielle and Muhammad's season. I'd watched the season before them, but they were like, oh, like this couple is crazy. Um, but yeah, it's crazy. Okay, we gotta dive in and talk about some of the most iconic couples of 90 Day Fiance. And I think we have to start off with my homegirl who's batshit fucking crazy, Angela and Michael.
Oh my.
They're on
Yeah.
everything. I don't think Michael's ever coming to America. Okay? I don't think he's
No,
ever coming. Like,
I
I
don't
don't
think he wants to come. I
I
mean,
don't
he says he wants to come, but like, well, yeah. I also just don't think he understands what he's coming into, because like
yeah.
she's from Georgia. So I look at this from like my perspective and how I grew up, right?
Yeah.
This is a man from Africa moving to the South. Okay. um it's not the picture Angela has painted of America and the picture that TV has painted of America for Michael is
Yeah.
not going to be his reality.
No.
And so like even if he does get here, like there's going to be, if he does eventually get here, they will be on the show for that. And there's going to
Oh
be
yeah.
some sort of argument because some woman looked at Michael the wrong way, which a bunch of white women are going to look at Michael in Georgia, and Angela's going to get into a fight, or somebody's going to say some off-color things about Michael. Angela's going to get into a fight. Like it's just not any way that it ends. It's just not going to be. It's just not going to be good. It's just she is so. I don't know. It's like she's trying to put an entire new she's like trying to I don't all of her plastic surgery. I'm like, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
You're almost 60 years old. Like
Right? It's like I was about her like 'cause she like got her like for the stomach surgery. She's like she could lose a bunch
right,
of weight. And she looked
for sure.
great. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, like you look really good. And then yeah, she got like more and more and more stuff. I find her annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Because she's such a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
She's such a hypocrite. Also, she's been on more reality TV show. Pretty sure she was on Jerry
More.
Springer or Maury because
Mm-hmm. With her
contesting.
daughter.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's so trashy. You're so trashy.
Yeah.
Like, um, like every time like they fight, they get back together, or when she goes to Nigeria, it's just like they're like, well, you're married an American, land of the fucking free, and you will serve me, Michael. I won't serve you. That's not how it's done in America. Then don't be with somebody from that culture that is expected of that.
Yeah.
Right? And it like before we dive in more, can we just say like how ridiculous The Last Resort is? And we'll come back to more of Last Resort because that was incredible. Michael's on a fucking TV screen.
The
Does
whole
this
time.
man not sleep? He's
I,
like
he
he's
doesn't
just
have a job though. So like he doesn't go to work, so he can sleep whenever he wants. Like that because that's what I wanted at the very beginning. I was like, does he work? And he doesn't. Like she sends him money or he like does like odd things. Like he doesn't have like a real
yeah.
job.
Like just like I'm just sitting there and I'm like leave this man alone, Angela. Okay? Like has he like yes, he's cheated on you. Move on. Move on. And I don't need to know like best lay of your life and details of the band's sausage. Like I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
okay. But like you're right. Whatever because like TLC is gonna pay the American government to get this man into America because they're gonna fucking
Like please.
ride that cow out. They're gonna have 6 spin-offs and a TV show just for that. They're gonna have like him coming to America and then a wedding special. And then maybe if her one egg is still alive, they have a child. Like
That whole thing, that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
yeah,
like how crazy do you have to be to not think that it's weird to
right?
ask your daughter
To
to
tote your
carry
baby.
her own sister?
I know.
What?
Like that's so fucked up. Like it's so fucked up. No, like no. No. And like she's like, I don't want to do it. And they're like, we're gonna like he's like, I'll convince her. She'll do no, I wouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah,
That's
like I can't imagine. Like my mom got remarried and
yeah,
like my mom struggled when she had me. So
yeah.
like I couldn't imagine if like I got to be like my age now or like a little bit younger and my mom was like, you know, Alicia, me and your stepdad always want another kid, but like it was just hard for me. Like, would you take one of my eggs and carry it for me? I would be like, I'm putting you in a facility right now. Like
Yeah.
what? No.
No. No. No. No, no, no.
Yeah, you have lost it because that's you should never have asked me that. No, no, no.
No. No, no. No, 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 no. Um, fuck. The
Yeah.
couple's
I
insane.
feel like I feel like second trashiest though has got to be Darcy. Darcy was
Darcy,
so beautiful when she started the show.
yes. Yes, she
She was so
was
beautiful when she started the
so
show.
beautiful. And
And
now,
Stacey, I don't think Stacey has quite taken it like as far as Darcy has,
yeah.
even though they're twins, but like they were so beautiful when they started the show.
You mean twin wedding?
Yeah,
Oh my God. If I was a twin, I would never have a twin wedding. Have your
you could just
own
be
day.
competing with each other all day.
Yes. No, no twin wedding. I just appreciate the trauma. I think of that all the time. Like, it's Darcy that had gave the shoe trauma, right?
The shoot.
Yes. Am I thinking of a different? So she threw a shoe at the guy and he's like, "You gave me a trauma from the shoe."
Oh yeah. The
Yeah.
only thing I can remember about
Like
the
her actual season, her original season.
yeah, so my
Yes.
favorite thing about her original season was when they had this whole blow up fight about him cutting the steak on a
Yes.
bias. Like that's the only thing I remember, and I think that was that whole situation. I think
Yeah.
it was the end of that maybe where she like threw a shoe at him. But
Yes.
like that guy's a total narcissist too. Like they're
Oh
both
yeah. They're both
just like
narcissists.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, she just it like she really makes me sad though because like you can tell that she just wants to be loved so badly that she's literally willing to do anything
Yeah.
to get it. And it's like Darcy, sweetheart, you don't need to do that. Just like just be yourself, be a person,
Right?
and like talk to people. Like you don't have to be so extreme and over the top. And
Yeah. Or just like everything. Like her face doesn't move anymore.
no,
Her lips are hot dogs. Like
yeah.
it's like like that's the thing that kills me about plastic surgery. It's like you're such a pretty girl. Like just be a pretty girl and
And when
not
they
be
asked her daughters if they would ever get plastic surgery like that, her daughters were like, no.
yeah. No. No.
Yeah.
Because it just destroys you, right? Like that just makes me sad.
Yeah.
It makes me sad for
Yeah,
her. Right?
it does.
Okay. Okay. Anything more about Stacy and her sister before we move on to another iconic couple?
I don't yeah, I think Stacy is the more like level-headed one of them and like she tries her best to tell Darcy like, "Hey, just chill." But
Right?
Darcy like doesn't want to hear it and she's just like, "Okay, like
Yeah.
whatever, you know?" Like I kind of do like Stacy and Florian, but you get them always with Darcy and it's just like it's hard to watch Darcy sometimes and you're
And
like, "Oh my gosh."
but like that's like there's a part of it that's like I think she's just doing it so she can keep being on like pick a
Right.
90-day fiance franchise, right?
I did
Um,
also hear that like in the middle of the Georgie season, like in the middle of the Georgie situation, I her ex-husband had a kid with his new wife. So
okay.
that was like some behind the scenes things that was like messing with her head and why
Hmm.
she's so like pushing like all these dudes to like
Like
get
a
engaged, all this shit because her ex would like gotten remarried and was then like having a new baby and she was just like upset by that. Like
yeah.
that was what I had on Reddit was that and like there was a picture of her daughters like with their new sibling and I was like, what? And, oh, it was her ex-husband
Hmm.
that had a kid. So I think like she just really has a hard time like focusing on herself and not letting other people's lives like she has to put her life trajectory on the same as everybody else's and if it's not on the same timeline then she just like freaks out.
Yeah. Because like, well, I'm sure she's like, well, if my ex-husband's having a kid, I can have a kid.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna have a better kid. And
yeah,
my daughters will like this kid more because it's my
yeah.
kid. Versus yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know, like if my ex-boyfriend who did me wrong had a baby before me, oh man, if I found out, I'd be like, what? What? I I'm happily married. He's happily married. We both found our ways 7 years ago. But
Yeah,
like it's just the girl thing. Okay. It's like it's just you're always like you always want to beat your ex. I don't care how many years you always want to make sure they're like beating my ex.
I'm doing better.
Yeah, I'm doing better. Like I
Yeah,
won like I know I won the breakup and I will always continue to win the breakup because I married a very nice, a great man. However, I always want to make sure that like still
I'm
winning.
still with
I'm still winning. trashy. It's the trashy reality TV in me. Okay,
Yeah.
speaking of, okay, another forgotten couple of 90 Day Fiancé. They were like, this couple was in a couple of this series. They never ended up getting married. I think Nicole and oh, I can't remember his name.
Azon.
Azon. And
Yeah.
oh, that couple made me so sad. Like, which like I'm 55% attracted to you. Like, who says that? And then the fake store that was never gonna be a store, and all the money her family gave her for the store.
Yeah. I just felt really bad for that little girl because like
Yeah.
she was like 3 maybe
Hmm.
at the time when like all of it started, and like my son's almost 3 now, so like I think about the things that he does and I'm like, he's, like he can talk, so he's learning new words, he like talks more and more all the time, so like
Yeah.
I can't imagine moving a child of that age to a different country that doesn't speak English. um,
Yes.
or it's not, or like it's not like she has another parent that speaks that language. um and so it's just going to be harder for her because she's not going to hear it everywhere. She's just going to hear whatever you say. And then it's just like a total, like that just seems like a crazy time to take a child
Yeah.
to move her to a new country. Like I just the craziest part to me was when she didn't make enough money to bring him to America, so then she was going to move over there. And I
Yeah.
like with her daughter, and I was just like, no, sweetie, that's
No.
not the answer. The answer is get a job, make enough
Yeah.
money to bring him over here. Because I looked it up. Like I looked after I found out that Lil Simsy did it,
Yeah.
and some of the people on these shows are only like McDonald's managers.
Yeah.
Like I know how much money I make, and so I'm like, so you're telling me that I could like sponsor to bring somebody over here? How much money do you have to make? And it's very little. Like it's not. I think it's maybe like $25,000 a year.
Yeah.
Like that's all you have to make. It's not an extreme amount of money.
No.
So um I'm like, if you're not doing that,
Yeah.
then what? How are you gonna do it in another country, like where you don't even speak the language?
Can you
Like,
even work?
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, that story, I forget about them sometimes too. um but yeah, that they just kind of, I don't know what happened to
I don't
her.
know. I think they just kind of like,
I remember the last thing that happened was at one of the tell-alls there was a meeting, or there was a video recording of like him leaving some other girl a voicemail,
yes.
and that was like the end of it.
Yeah, she was about to head to Morocco like 2 days prior, and then it comes out to her that he's cheating on her. And then like that was it. So I wonder, because like TLC would have fucking ran with that because they wanted, like, they would have kept it going. So I wonder if Nicole is just like, you know what, like, let's just wrap this up.
Yeah.
Now we need like a 90 Day Fiance. Where are they? If that's not like, because there's so many couples that like don't, like, they have one season and that's it and they're done.
Hmm.
Because like one of like I think it was Michael and Natalie. She's crazy.
Yeah, where she had
Right?
to go live in the wood.
Yeah, the wood.
She has the same mindset as Darcy. Like we're at
Yes.
this age where we're not at the place in our life where we want to be, and we have to get there right now. Like,
Right. Yeah. Like well, Michael bought a farm. He wasn't ready to be like, I can't afford children. I think that's like a very responsible like manner, and I wish more people thought that way.
well, and also he worked like however far away,
Yeah.
so like he was never gonna be home to like help her take care of them, and that's also what he was trying to say. It's like, I'm always gone now. You're mad that I'm always gone now. Do you want me to always be gone when you have
Right.
a kid? Like, what?
The
I
my
loved his mom's. I loved his mom's '80s bangs though. Those were my
Yes,
favorite.
the 80s bangs, the hair to Jesus. Oh my
Like there,
god.
it just cracks me up because like what she lived in Oklahoma,
Yep.
um, so it's like really close to where I live, and there's so many people like where I grew up that still have that haircut, and so it just made me laugh so much to like see it
Oh.
on television. Like,
Oh my god. Yeah. I just cuz I was like, no, like nobody still has that hair. Like
yeah,
nobody. Like nobody. And I'm like, no. And like even like her friend, I'm like, no. Oh god. Oh. But yeah, like them, like they kind of just like they had their two seasons and like I don't even know if they're still together. Like I have no
yeah.
idea, right?
They're
Um
well, she was on the single life. They're not. They're
Okay, so
divorced.
they're divorced.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I forgot about the single life because
Oh, we okay.
there's just that fucking many. They're like, you didn't make it, fucking single life. You got married, happily ever after. You're
Yeah.
about to end, fucking last resort. We got like what fucking trinity chart is it you gonna fall under? Um I'm kind of happy that they didn't. I kind of hope that like Michael finds like a fucking farm girl who just like wants to like just hang out and like let the man eat
Yeah.
steak and have a beer. I think my favorite line from him where like Natalie's just screaming at him, he's like, "You're not gonna have a drink tonight." He's like, "Oh, I'm definitely having a drink tonight," and just like cracks open a beer and starts chugging
Yeah.
it. I was like, I would have a beer. Like I would need beer to deal
Oh
like
man.
with that.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of another farm, we gotta talk about Brandon and his farming family. Oh, what was his wife's
Julia.
name? Julia, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, his mom is a psycho.
I I
I
told
can't
Zane. I
believe
said,
I'm losing my son. I'm
yeah.
getting. I was like, you're so.
I told my husband, I was like, if I ever act like that about, because I only like we only have our son and that's it. Like
Yeah,
um maybe I could like adopt a kid, but childbearing was not for me. I was like, no, thank you, I'm done here. Um, and so I was like, if I ever start acting like that about my only kid son, please smack me in the face. Like that's
right?
ridiculous. Like it's borderline really strange. Like why are you that attached to your son? Like
Yeah,
you want to take care of him for your whole life? What?
right? Right? And then I just okay, how we start off in here. Mom tries to get her birth control. And he's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, no. Then they have to sleep in separate rooms. Okay, what's your thoughts on the separate room situation?
Okay, so I've I've had friends that have had to deal with this, and I've asked them to explain it to me slowly because I don't get it.
Yeah.
So one of my best friends, her and her boyfriend lived together
Okay.
in China.
Okay.
And then when they would come home to visit for the summertime, when they would sleep in their parents' house or in her parents' house, not his, when they would go to his parents or her parents' house, they would have to sleep in separate rooms until they were engaged or married.
Okay.
I don't remember which one it was. And I was like, but you lived in the
Mm-hmm.
same place in a totally different country. Like, are they controlling what you do over there? And she was like, no, it's just like they don't want it. I was like, what? What? So you don't want somebody having sex in your house, but like, why do you care? Are you
Yeah,
like gonna stay up and listen for it? That's weird.
that's
Like, I
weird.
don't understand. I don't know. Maybe I also have a Gen X parent and not a boomer parent. So
Mhm.
sometimes I realize that I was raised a little bit differently than some of my friends. So my mom just didn't really, my mom had me at 21 years old. And so she's just like, I'm not going to play games with you. You're an adult. I'm not
Yeah.
naive. Like, this is silly. Um, but yeah, so I think it's that. Like, it was just a respect. Like, some people are like that. They're like, no, this is my house, you're not going to do that under my roof. It's a respect thing. And I'm like, I don't really think that those correlate, but It's just a personal it's just a personal opinion.
Hey, I got you. I couldn't get behind the second bedroom thing. Like, I'm like, they're just gonna have sex when you're not home.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, so like you have to have separate bedrooms, so they get a hotel like the first night they're like, oh, like we're gonna take you to Washington and like we're gonna get you a hotel room. They banged there. So
Right.
like
But
they're
that's
gonna
what I'm saying.
bang.
They don't have a problem with them having sex. It's not that. It's
It's
them
just the
doing it
respect in the
in their home.
right. I
That's the problem. And I don't know.
I
I,
like Julia's response saying like I can get naked with him in the hot tub together, but I can't sleep in the same room with clothes on with him. Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Right? Okay. I think I've given like the last like six couples. What are some of your iconic favorite couples of the franchise?
Um so Kenny and Armando are
Oh my
my
God.
like all time, like I swear every time they're on screen I just like sob. So at the beginning of the show, when
Yeah.
it started, the meetings were more like organic.
Yeah.
They weren't like I met you because I like Korean men, so I got on a Korean dating app
Yeah.
and this is what happened. So even though they're a newer couple, they met on a Facebook group for single dads who are gay.
Yeah.
Um and like they started just talking like that, and that's how they met, and I was like that's just super nice. And
Yeah.
then like Penny is just a freak of nature. That man, I
Right?
I'm sorry,
I just learned he
how
was
old is he?
60. I just learned he was 60 last week. I was like,
No,
no, no, he is not.
no, I remember the first time I remember the first time he came on screen, they like popped his age up at the bottom. I said, "Excuse me?
Right?
This man is in his 60s?"
Yeah, he looks younger than me, and he looks younger than my husband, and my husband's 33.
I'm
I was like,
just like,
I said to Jason, I was like, that man's 60 years old. He's like, no, he's not. I was like,
no,
he's fucking
no,
60.
I said that to my husband too. I was like, the gays know how to take care of themselves. I'm
Yes.
telling you this right now. That's crazy. Like, what?
Right? And like,
Oh.
cause like I never watched their season. I only knew of them from Pillow Talk. And I loved them on Pillow Talk. And I was like, oh my God, like I love this couple. And then I saw them on this season of Other Way.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, like they want to have their first babies together. That's so exciting. And they're like, oh, Kenny already has grown kids. I was like, how does the fuck does Kenny have grown kids? He's like 25. And they're like 60. I was like, 60? Oh my God. I, okay, their whole argument between one or two embryos. Okay, what are your thoughts on that?
Um, I mean, if that's how Kenny had triplets, I would be scared. but
Yeah.
but it yeah, I guess it just depends. Like,
I just my heart goes out for like when they have kids because I want like if they want to have kids, like go for it. But like when this kid is 20, Kenny's gonna be 80,
yeah,
right? Like, and I'm sure he'll look like a crisp 35 at that point when he's 80. But like, what?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I and they're also a couple that's like try like granted that Kenny or Armando never went to America, but that whole story I understood why Kenny moved. Like his children were grown, he didn't have to be there anymore.
Hmm.
Armando's daughter is little. He didn't want to move her away
Yeah.
from all of her family. Um and like it's really sweet to watch them. Like Kenny's learned Spanish so he can talk to her, and she's learned English so she can talk to him. I was like, see, this is what
Yeah.
we're supposed to be doing. Like,
Learning each other's languages. I was gonna save that to like how the shows function, but like we need more couples learning each other's languages, and we cannot have one couple only speak like one person will speak one language and the other doesn't speak the other language because they're
yeah,
just having phone conversations with each other, and that's how she gets lost in translation.
yeah,
Yeah, but that I was gonna say that they did it right. Like he learned Spanish, she learned English, so they can at
yeah,
least communicate, and like so he can also help raise his daughter,
right,
right?
yeah. And then like another couple, I don't know if they were They might have been on after once. I don't think that they were, but they were like season 2.
Okay.
I can't remember their names. Um,
Describe them to me.
but she was like a blonde lady,
Okay.
super fit, and she went to Jamaica on vacation with her friends and met like a scuba diving instructor.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And her sisters were so upset because they thought
Yes.
that he was just going to come and steal all of her money and blah blah blah. And she like paid for him to go to welding school, and they were like, "Really, you're paying for him to go to school?" Blah blah blah. And he um already had his scuba, license because that's what he did in Jamaica. And so then like one time I looked up like 90-day things, where are they now, to see like what they were doing, and they did have their own kid too. I think they had a daughter. And he is like an underwater welder and makes a crazy amount of money now. And so she was just like, see, yeah, I paid for his school, but he already had half of what he needed, and now he can work. Like he could go to school, but he just couldn't work when he was there over the 90 days. So if like for the 90 days he went to school for a little bit and then got like his certification, and then by the time he got his green card, he could already work at a job where he made a lot of money,
Yeah.
and they like did really well for themselves.
Right. See, okay, we need a 90 day. Where are they? Because like I totally forgot about that couple. I completely forgot about because there's no drama.
No.
Because first I thought you were talking about Ashley and Jay. That's as soon as I thought about
Oh
them.
yeah, no.
No, 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 no. Because I was like,
Not the dude that had sex in the barbershop bathroom. Not that one. Different Jamaican guy.
different. I didn't also mean for that to come off racist either. I was like, that's the
Oh
first
yeah,
blood.
no, though they're exactly the same.
Same,
It's
yeah,
exactly the same
yeah,
story. Like
yeah.
blonde lady goes to Jamaica with her
Jamaica
friend. Like it's the
friends,
story.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I was like, they have kids. He fucked a
No.
dude in the barbershop.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 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 no. Also, she was so pretty, and her fucking Ashley's boobs were bigger than my goddamn head for like this tiny little waist. Like, okay, one moment that killed me in there, and we'll go back to this amazing couple with Ashley, when she goes and gets her hair extension. They're like, oh, what are we gonna do today? And she's like, I kind of want to like have hair extension. They're like, we can do that. That appointment was scheduled for weeks. You can't just walk in and get hair
No.
extensions. The hair extensions were sitting right next to them. I was like, ah, like, I was like, I was the most mad about that. Obviously, he cheated on her, and that's gross. But like, I'm like, you booked that appointment a long time ago, and you already had an ex-husband that like pays for everything. Like, calm down.
Yeah.
Okay. But it's like there are cute success stories like that. There was one couple, and I can't think of his name. Um, he like they just like he was, I don't know, some like white guy, banker guy, falls in love with somebody from Thailand. And like he had like the nicest kids, and like he had a really great relationship with his ex-wife, like to the point that like his ex-wife and her were like really good friends by the end of it. I can't.
No, she was Brazilian.
She's, sorry, Brazilian. Okay.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah. But they're not together.
What?
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, because she was a lot younger, and his kids were hilarious too.
Oh my God. I want the kids on Pillow Talk. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that I saw something like not that long ago that said that they like had gotten divorced.
Oh, that's
And
sad.
it wasn't bitter or anything like that, I don't think.
No.
But no, I did like them too, because yeah, his ex-wife, she married them?
Yeah, she married them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She was actually really nice to her. She wasn't like,
Yeah.
yeah. But
That
yeah,
could
I don't think they're together anymore.
no.
His name
Oh,
is Michael.
his
Because I
name was
feel like
what?
one season where there was like 1,000 Michaels on the same
Right?
season.
Okay. I'm gonna Google it, but while we're thinking about that, we gotta talk about George and Anthisa. Because a lot of people's first like knowing a 90 Day Fiance was Anthisa, of how much of a fucking gold digger she was. I don't have much love for Anthisa. However, she came in and told George the truth straight from the
Exactly.
gate. Yeah.
That's what I didn't understand about. I was like, why are we surprised?
Yeah.
Because when he said, would you still be with me if I didn't have all this money? And she looked him dead in the face and said, would you still be with me if I didn't have all these fake?
Yeah.
And he didn't answer her. And she goes, okay, so what are we doing here?
Right?
Like, like she never lied. That was the thing. She's not, um, I'm sorry. My husband calls her big tits. What's I forget what her name is. The one right now, Jasmine.
Oh my God, Gina and
She's
Jasmine.
not Jasmine.
She's not
Jasmine
Jasmine. No.
will not admit that she just wants to be in America and she just wants money. Like Anfisa said that's what she wanted the whole time.
Yeah.
She made it very clear.
I know, right? And I was like, and the fact that she stayed with him while he was in jail. I mean, obviously they're not together now, but
Yeah.
she did stay.
Mm-hmm.
But that thing, I will never get her. And bring my makeup back. like she says, I'm not saying she's not great. She's not something else, okay? Because
Yeah.
she is. However, she knew what she wanted. She wanted a rich daddy. She wanted someone to come to give her $100,000 house, or sorry, $100,000 wedding with a big $1 million house, with every Chanel bag and every Birkin bag. That's what she wanted, and George
Yeah.
would give it to her. And she's like, "Well, why? You said you could buy me anything I wanted. These are the things I wanted. Why are you now? I'm having to find out that you're in debt. Like."
Yeah.
Also, maybe don't be a drug dealer and be on a reality TV show and sell drugs. I'm just saying, like, maybe not the best idea.
Whenever he got arrested, I was like, what did he get arrested for? And I looked it up. That dude was moving some pounds.
Yes.
It was a lot.
It was a lot. It wasn't just like, I was like, oh, like classic states, just having a dime bag on you, going to jail forever. I was like, no, that's fucking trafficking. That's like double trafficking.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
not SUVs, like RVs. It was like We're the Millers sort of stuff.
The situation. I appreciate We're the
Yeah.
Millers. Great underrated movie. If you guys are still hungover after this, We Are the Millers. Awesome. Also has Laura Lee from Vanderpump Rules in there for anybody who just wants to remember who Laura Lee is from Vanderpump. Okay. Let's talk about a couple that I really, really like. I like her. I don't like him, and that's Yara and Jovi. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, Jovi, you are dating somebody hotter than married to someone hotter than a stripper. Why are you fucking stripper still? Why do you have stripper cell phone like numbers just still in your phone? Like, get out of here. Like, she's so pretty. She's so pretty, and she feels so bad about her body. Like,
yeah,
you have a better body than me, and I don't have a kid. So, like, you're
yeah,
fine. And
yeah.
No, go ahead.
Well, his mom like tries her best to like
Yeah.
mitigate it without like being in their business.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just gross. Like I don't there's a line between what Jovi does and Jasmine freaking out because Gino went to a bachelor party at a strip club with other dudes. Like I don't think Gino has the stripper's phone number in his phone, Jasmine.
No.
Like
No.
Jovi had a stripper's phone number in his phone, called that particular stripper, and then went to her club specifically. Like that's a problem.
Yes. Oh, 100%. And here's the moment that I just wanted to wring Jovi's neck and then cut off his balls. So we know Jovi has a job where he goes overseas and fucking parties and does whatever for months on end, and he wants to have a second baby. He had the opportunity to have a job 5 minutes away from him, and he said no. I would have been fucking livid. If I would have divorced him. I just said, you know what? You clearly don't want to be with me or our child. Bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was mad at her for looking at apartments in the Ukraine with her money. It's like, why can't she do that?
Yeah.
Why can't she have an apartment in the Ukraine And if you want another kid so bad, let her get the apartment in the Ukraine. So
Yeah.
then when you're gone
Hmm.
for 3 months or whatever it is, she can take the kids and go to the Ukraine and her mom can help her. And
Yes.
then when you're back, she can come back to America and live there. Like, what is the problem
Exactly.
with the house in the Ukraine? I don't understand.
Their issue
Maybe right
shouldn't
now
be.
we don't buy a house in the Ukraine, but
Yeah.
that was before like any of the stuff started over there is when they're having this discussion.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly. Like she feels alone. Like and then and like Joe's like, oh, like my mom and parents, that's different.
she barely knows them.
Yeah,
Like
it's not like
the
your
family.
mom,
Yeah.
right? Like, ugh, Jovi. But Yara, like, stunning. Just
Oh yeah.
I love her. She's so funny. She puts Jovi in her place, which I
Yeah.
fucking appreciate. She does not roll over.
No.
And you know who also put someone in their place, and I'm so happy about this, is my girl, Kalani. My baby
Yes,
girl,
I'm so
Kalani. I
happy
am
she's finally
so happy that she's out of that relationship with us Walu because she just had
yeah.
3 boys. Okay.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
had toddlers.
She had 3 toddlers. And like the like because it was like I think it was like on the other like happily ever after. Because they had a couple happily ever seasons
Uh-huh. Yeah.
where they're in a car to go to Oliver's first birthday party. They rent at this Airbnb. He's calling her a bitch in front of her mom. If my husband ever called me a bitch in front of my mom and meant it, oh my God. I would be like, this relationship's ending right now. And she stayed and he cheated on her.
Yeah.
That's so gross. And then he gives her a hall pass, but doesn't think that she's gonna take it
Yeah.
and then gets mad at her for taking it, even though he cheated and gave her the hall pass. Like, what the fuck is that? And like, you could tell at the last resort, she's like, "Yeah, it's my buddy." Like, high five. Like, she was just so over it. She just
Yeah.
didn't care.
No.
No,
Well, and like I just felt so bad for her because there are just so many things about the way that she grew up that she was trying so hard
yeah.
to like keep that. Like she's half Samoan, so
Mm-hmm.
like she understands that culture. She's been there. Like she
Yep.
goes back with her dad. Like that's how they met. It wasn't, this wasn't
Yeah,
a date app sort of situation either. Like he
absolutely.
went to Samoa to visit her family, and that's how they met. And so it's like, she understands the culture of Samoan men, and so she's forgiving on some things. Like he's not gonna wash the dishes. He's not gonna,
No.
like whatever. She was fine with that. Like he does the yard work outside, blah blah blah. But like just because you're Samoan doesn't mean you can cheat on your wife. Like
No.
that's not, and then she also grew up Mormon, which
Mm-hmm.
is another layer on top of that,
Mm-hmm.
where it's just like neither of those cultures believe in getting a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You should work the stuff out. Like it doesn't really matter what the dude does.
Right.
So for her to like, you know, and I don't know what she saw with her own parents, because it didn't, like, from the story that they got, it didn't seem like her dad was ever really home that much. Like he was
Yeah.
working. So
I
like when people have parents like that, while they might not see their parents fight, they also don't see like a loving relationship because they're just not
mhm.
together that much. Like they have parents that are together, but like they're always separated. Like
Yeah.
they're different places. So it's not really the same as like, you go out with your parents on the weekends and like do fun things or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think it was just hard for her to like tell herself that it was okay to be happy, and like that's just so sad.
That is so sad. But I'm happy that she's moved on from Asuelu and Asuelu's family is insane.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not gonna say anything about the Samoan culture as a white girl from Canada. I have no leg to stand on to judge other people's cultures. However, when
But
you're
they're physically violent with Kalani.
yeah, I will say Kalani could beat the shit out of Swallow's sister every day of the fucking week.
Oh, I
I don't
bet.
give a shit. She's
Yeah.
yeah, no. I was just like, "Oh my God."
And that's what I meant too, but like she was more understanding than most
Yeah.
of the people on 90 Day when their spouse is like, I have to send this much money back to my country. Like a lot of times they're like, you're not doing that. I'm not paying for that.
Hmm.
You know, she was just like, we can't support ourselves. Like we have to eat first, and then you can send what's left back to
Yeah,
Samoa. Like that's
exactly.
all she was saying, which is a reasonable thing to say. Like she's
Right?
not telling you can't send your family money. She's saying her children need to eat first, which is normal.
100% realistic. Like I remember like her being like opening up a card, seeing $100. I'd shit my pants. I think of that every time I open a card. It's like if I open my card right now, it's like $100. So like I'd be like, oh my God, thank you. I can now eat for like a couple weeks. I appreciate $1,000 US. Give me my money. I want $1,000 US. And then once that was resolved, so I was like, you know what? Let's have another baby. I'm gonna give you a baby blanket so we can start trying for a baby again. And like that's so gross. So gross.
Yeah.
I again, Samoan. Again, I don't want to shit on the culture. I don't know, but I just can't. You can't have a families anymore at the cost of living of like 7 kids. Because like, what didn't Aswalu was like the youngest of 18 or something like that. It's a
I
little
don't know
different.
how many. I think there were five of them that had moved to America and had brought his mother there, but his father
Yeah.
and some of the male, I think it was mostly the female siblings that were in America.
Yeah.
But I don't remember how many he said that he had. But so it's the same with this new couple. Um, God, what's Manuel and
Oh my
Ashley
God.
name?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's,
Yes.
it's but she's just she doesn't get it. And
No.
like he's asking her to send $200 a month back to I forget which Latin American country he's from. But I'm like, Ashley, 200 American, and he's trying to explain to her, you spend $8 on coffee 3 times a day. How about let's spend $8 on coffee 1 time a day,
Hmm.
and then I can send the other $16 a day back to my family. Like what? And he's not asking her to do it
No.
her whole life. He's asking her to do it for the little bit of time that he like can't work, and she's just being so outrageous about it. Like her only saving grace is that she speaks to him in Spanish. Like
Yes.
she at least knows how to speak his language. That's about all I can say for her. Like she's just
I didn't like her. I did. I was just like, she's like, stop, like, stop. Like, it was not one of my favorites.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious to see how that ends.
I
Because like the
agree.
one there's a couple on this season of 90 Day Fiance that I'm just like, what what is happening here? Like then there are also like the young couples that I don't understand. So like this season, like Sophie and Rob, and then um um that one dude from North Dakota or Nebraska. What was it?
Mm.
Jabri?
Oh my God, Jabri. Yeah,
Yeah, Jabri
Jabri.
and Fiona. And
Yeah.
then there was another one from LA, and she was from like Denmark or Norway or the Netherlands. Um and like he was a musician and she didn't like his music at all.
Can we also just take a minute for all the rappers on the
Yeah,
show?
that's what I was saying. Like all those couples, like
Yeah.
all those young couples who it's just like these girls who want to move to LA to be an influencer
Yeah.
is basically the backstory of them.
Yeah. Yeah, because Jabri, I can't remember her name because like I liked Jabri's grandma because she was cool. And
Yeah.
Jabri's parents, like she was a counselor and
Mm-hmm.
her stepdad, I don't know what her stepdad
His
did.
stepdad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what he did, but
Like I just would have just said, "Hey, like let's live here for a couple years, let's save some money, and then let's then go get a house." And maybe not in LA, but close enough to that. And she's like, "No, like we gotta go to LA. Like I'm not gonna." And like he was so nice to her. And he did
Yeah.
so much night, and yeah, and she just walked over him.
I can't remember what the other dude's name was.
What about Penis Man? I know you don't know what that is because I only know his name. I don't know his the guy who was the security guy who lived with his brother. That was Penis Man. He like his I think his brother's name was Paul, and they did security and they brought his girlfriend over and they all lived together and then they all moved to Texas and then like she's like, why do you live with your brother? Like I am here.
Oh, the dude that
Yeah.
was very totally from Boston.
Yeah. And he was just like he's so fucking he used to be a bodybuilder and then he got caught cheating. So then he just
Yeah.
couldn't be a body. Yeah, he's a walking penis man. Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's just like bulge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the thing about that I thought was funny was that she got pregnant super fast, and he was like,
Yes.
well, the doctor told me that because of my past issues that I couldn't have children. I was like, God, dude, you have not taken a biology class one time. You took steroids for a long time, and so your sperm count was low for a long time because you were taking steroids. You're not taking them anymore.
Yeah.
So it's
Sperm.
not you're not a woman. You don't have a limited amount
Yeah.
of sperm. Like we have a limited amount of eggs, and if we damage ours, then they're gone. That's not how you work,
Yeah,
dude.
no. No, I know. And there's
What?
so many people because I recently fell back in love with watching Maury. Like every day I watch like a Maury and they're like, I can't have kids because like I was like, just because you smoke weed every day 20 years ago and then you stopped, you could fucking your sperm count goes up, okay? Or you can have daughters with sperm, okay? Like they're like, my sperm only creates boys. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Go back to
No, that
fucking
like made
sex
me
ed
laugh.
class.
Like, dude, you literally don't. You
Yeah.
just don't get it. But yeah, his brother was hilarious to me. Like,
I
dude had
know.
such a. I was like, where did his brother live in Boston? Did you just like leave this guy in Boston on a doorstep, and then you like your accent's normal. He's that's like it's like the Sam Adams commercials almost. Like,
I know. He's just fucking sitting there eating a greasy ass steak for breakfast and a beer. It's like 7:40 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, this is fucking hilarious. Oh,
yeah, I forgot about them too.
right?
But
Because
yeah,
there's just so fucking many. And you know what? One family we can't forget about, and the name is escaping me right now because it's but the family that has Elizabeth and oh my God, what's his name? Andre. Oh my God. TLC tried to make that family the Kardashian family of TLC. They fucking
yeah,
tried. Get the fuck out of here on that dysfunction of a
yeah.
family. And like, duh. I
Did
just
you did you ever read into really that family? Like
no.
everybody in that family has been arrested. It was so hypocritical that they were talking to Andre about what he did in Moldova and all these things and why he couldn't come back to Moldova. They have all been arrested.
Really?
Her dad has been arrested and gone to jail because he refused to pay child support for his other children who aren't on the show, aren't a part of the family. He has other children. Her dad has like 9 children.
Oh my
Um,
God. Chuck has like 9 kids.
yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. And then Charlie has been to jail multiple times for cocaine
Yeah,
charges.
that one's not out of the realm.
Yeah.
That one's pretty yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
I think the sister, like Charlie's wife, has also been. And then the one sister that's terrible.
Jen?
Yeah. She's also been arrested. So it's like, why are we grilling Andre, who used to be a police officer in Moldova, and he quit because they wanted him to do some shady stuff, and he
Yep.
said no.
Yep.
And y'all are the ones that have been to jail. Like, what is going on here?
Right. But and then that like and that family, like, oh, we're perfect, we're real estate agents, remote. I was as soon as I saw it, I was like, yo, they fucking flipping houses to like clean money. That's all I've ever thought. I'm like, they're just some money laundering. Just or
Yeah.
like what how much money did Andre ask Chuck? Was it 100,000?
Uh huh.
Yeah. Could you just imagine just walk up to your father like, I want $100,000, please. As not like not as a loan, but as a gift. So I can start being a real estate mogul. Also, Andre looks very different from his season because him and
Oh yeah.
Elizabeth are fucking babies, like
Yeah.
absolute babies. I think I don't have too much love for them because just like they just annoy me when they're on screen. However, Chuck should not have ruined their Moldova wedding. Also, Chuck should not have paid for the Moldova their other wedding. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
no.
you should have paid for that.
No.
Yeah, no, Charlie at that wedding, I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, dude, just stop. Just stop.
Yep. Just
Yeah.
take a break, calm down. It's not about you today. It's
But
about
so
you.
then so now we have the new couple that's from Moldova, Justin, whose name is Igor. She just gave him the name Justin.
Just fucking gave him a white ass name. Why?
I okay, so it's Nikki and Justin, and yeah, this is the new season of 90 Day. I was trying to remember because 90 Day the other way just ended,
Yes.
but it wasn't that one. It's 90 Day Fiancé. So she's trying to bring him to America. They've been through the process before. Like
Yeah.
I guess like 20 years ago, they went through the K1 visa and he came and it didn't go well. Um and it was because she did not tell him that she was trans. And then after she
Mm.
on
Mm-hmm.
visa and he came, she told him that
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't know how to process it and just left. And
Yep.
then they didn't speak for a while. And then they're like getting back together now. But she's just so strange to me because she gave his name is Igor, but
Mm-hmm.
she calls him Justin
Mm-hmm.
because she thinks he looks like Justin Timberlake. Like calls him Justin in front of his family, in front of all of his friends, and they're like, "Why are you calling him
Justin, not Igor.
Justin?" Like that's not even close to his name. Um, but then everything she does is about like now that she is came out to him, she thinks that everything he does is because she came out and he's mad about it. So everything is like super hyper sexualized, and
Mm-hmm.
she doesn't understand why people are frustrated with her. And it's like it's not. She always takes it back to like the trans issue. And it's like it's not.
It's
It has
not
nothing
that.
to do with that. You're asking this man to have sex with you in front of his friends. You're
Mm-hmm.
talking about your sex life in front of his friends. Like straight people don't do that.
No.
Nobody, you don't do that. That's
No.
the problem here. It has nothing to do with you coming out to him. Like he needed to process that in his own way, and then now you're not letting him. And it's like it's so much drama, and it's just so crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like what is, and he's trying to explain to her like no, like I have to, like it's not the same over here. We have to tell people things in a different way. Like you can't talk about these things. And she was like, well, why won't you? And like is very explicit in how she talks about stuff on TV. It's almost like Angela
Yeah.
that she talks about it. And I'm like, no, let's stop talking about that on national television. It's yuck.
Yeah, it's gross, right? It's just really fucking gross. And like, yeah, you're with your girlfriends, you're having a glass of wine, and you'd be like, oh my God, so like last night, like we did like that's different behind
Right.
closed doors, not on national television of basically being like, I want to get sex and he's not have fucking me, and like we used to have like the best sex life and we used to blah blah. Like that's so personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And
I
like his family watching it, you want your family to accept you. Like, stop. Just stop.
yeah. Just, like,
There's so many couples like that I'm just like Jasmine's the same way too. I'm like, she's like, they just think I'm with you, like you're my sugar daddy, and that's not the case. It's like, okay, well then stop acting like that then.
yeah. 100%. Stop acting like it and act like a normal fucking person. I think the problem is now because there's so many umbrellas.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's trying to be like, we're gonna cash out and get as many like because that's where the like you don't really get money on the 90 day, but like the happily ever afters or the single life, like that's kind of where I'm sure
Yeah.
TLC pays you more. So they're like, we need to be fucking crazy so we can get on another one and then another one, and then we'll get on Pillow Talk, and then we'll get back on Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
Speaking of Pillow Talk, there's one fucking hero of Pillow Talk, and his name is Tim. And I didn't know. Okay, so I did not realize at the time, like, that I never watched the season, so I didn't know. I knew about him after. I just kind of watched highlights of his season. First, I
Uh-huh.
thought, okay, I thought he was gay.
Everyone
Uh,
does.
yeah. And he was like this with this like hot girl, and she's like, yeah, like I want my guy to be like super rugged, and he's just like, yeah, I just got a Medi, and I got like an eye like some eye patches on underneath. Can't have puffy eyes in the morning, and I'm like, oh no, think I don't think you're the type of guy that you're
Yeah.
looking for. And then I did realize that like so like his ex-wife, like that's not his daughter. I
Yeah.
didn't
No.
I didn't know that, but he just like adopted her. And there's always been
Yeah.
a part of me that wants like me for Tim to get back with Vanessa because they have such good banter. But Vanessa was on the single life or was dating somebody, and
Yeah.
it made
But
Tim feel really like awkward or something.
so I guess that uh so the other way just ended and they had the tell all. And so he
Yes.
was on the tell all. Like they had like Tim and Kalani and somebody else
Yeah.
on the tell all to like talk to the cast and ask them questions. And so they were playing Never Have I Ever.
Hmm.
And somebody said, Never have I ever had a threesome. And Tim put his finger down. And somebody said, Please tell me it's not with somebody from the 90-day cast. And he just started laughing. And they're like, Was it Veronica? And he's like, Yeah, it was Veronica. So, like, they're still
Yeah.
kind
There's
of together, just not. Like,
yeah. Like maybe she calls him up on a lonely night and being
yeah,
like, "Hey, you." But yeah, I loved fucking Tim. Tim was just on point. Everything he said, I was like, just give this man a talk show. Get him a talk show in TLC, or just
yeah,
replace him as the host. I love the host that comes and does everything. Make Tim the new host, or to
yeah,
co-host it, and just start because he'd ask like the nitty gritty questions.
yeah. He's pretty funny.
He's pretty funny.
But so did you see though that the lady that he was with started dating Darcy's ex after that?
No,
Yeah,
that's funny.
I don't know if they're still together, but that lady that he was with from Colombia for a while was dating Jesse, the first one of Darcy's dudes.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
they were on they like because I think when Darcy was on one of them with Tom, they were on there together, and she was obviously like all pissed off. Because I think there it might have been like the same. It was close to the Darcy and Tim were like close to being in the same season because then their exes were like together after that, and it was like a weird situation where they brought them on the tell all too, and everyone's like, "You guys are just together for show, like it's not
Yeah.
real." They were like, "No, it's real." Blah blah blah.
Oh my God. Okay. Do you know a couple was for sure? Was Colty and Larissa.
He is
Colty,
gross.
he is
He is so
when
gross.
I saw Debbie with her makeover, I was like, oh my God, it's fucking it. It's the clown. Like, oh, Debbie, Colty, come here. I'm like, he's
Yeah,
so. How does he get like such pretty girls? Like Jessica was pretty.
yeah.
He was like his fat went over his speedo.
I and whenever he would go up to women and talk to them, it wasn't like that speed dating thing. Like, hey, what can I know about you? And he was like, I'm Cole. I live with my mom. I have 7 cats. It's like that's how you started. What?
Right?
And then they're out in the parking lot, and he's like being interviewed by TLC, and they're like, "Do you think you got any connections?" Like, I think I probably. I got a couple numbers. I might reach out and make some calls. And there's this girl like that yells from the other side of the parking lot, and she goes, "You're 36 and you live with your mom and 7 cats. Nobody's gonna be with you." Like she yells that from across the parking lot, and he
Fuck
goes,
yeah.
"Well, I guess that one wasn't a match." It's like, dude.
He's a loser. He's a loser. And Debbie, ew.
And that one brand, like I don't know, was it the Single Life or after whatever one he was on, but he went on that date at that stripper's house. No, it was a porn star's house. Excuse me.
Yes. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
they're different things.
Different. Yeah. I think it was the Single Life. But
Yeah,
yeah.
just like sticks her tongue down his throat in the hot tub. I was like, what is happening here? Why? Why are we doing this?
Ooh,
Yeah, he's
gross.
and but the guy that Jess got with after that seems like he's really nice.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, because she came out and been like, I'm married and I'm having like the best time. Like, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cause like, okay, so did Colty and Vanessa ever actually get married? Because he proposed to her, but I kind of just like left him in the dust because I thought he was just really gross and I didn't care to follow with his story.
No, they did.
They did.
Yeah, they did because they got married. They went and they eloped without Debbie, and it was a big deal. Debbie was not there.
Oh my God. Debbie would be like, oh my God, my baby boy's son.
Yeah, because then that's when Debbie started talking to that one dude from Canada and was on the Single Life.
Oh my God.
Uh, and because she was like, my son's leaving me. He hates me. He didn't even invite me to his wedding, and that's when like all that stuff started. I'm pretty sure. Um, but I don't know if they got divorced or they were just separated. Because she ended up having a miscarriage, and then there was a bunch of like fallout after that too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know that they got married because I remember him saying that they went and eloped because they like announced that they got married on a tell-all. Like nobody knew that, not even Debbie, and she was sitting there, and they said they got married and they went and eloped, and Debbie had just about had a heart attack on.
Mm. Jesus. Ugh. Who would want
Yeah,
to? Ugh. And like even Larissa, like she was like disgusting.
That's the only person TLC has ever banned from the franchise.
Yeah, for good goddamn reason though.
She
Like,
left her children in Brazil and came over here and is now like just an OnlyFans model.
yeah,
Awesome.
it's gross. It's just really fucking gross.
I
You
feel
know,
I feel like Jasmine is going down her path.
yeah. There
Like
are,
Jasmine pretends like she wants her children to come to America. I'm like, Jasmine, your children didn't live with you in Panama.
yeah.
Come
Why
on.
they're not gonna live with you? I know. And that was something like I don't know. I just that's one of the reasons I didn't like Larissa. Like she left them in Brazil, which I get you're trying to maybe build a connection, but then asks her dad for 5,000 USD. Being like, yo, can you like give this to me? And his dad's like, yeah, sure, honey, it's fine. It's fine. I'm like, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are some sad couples that make me kind of really sad on 90 Day Fiance. Specifically the catfish couples. There are three I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, there's more. But definitely Williams is definitely up there.
Yolanda.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we make like we were like anytime we hear someone with a British accent, I'm like, and it's clearly not British. Like, oh, it's Williams. He's on
Yeah.
TV.
Like,
Hello,
why does the British man sound exactly like Michael, who's from Nigeria? That's crazy.
right? Yeah. Hello, baby. I'm like, it's not British. It's not hello,
Yeah.
love. Oh, like we're gonna go to London. What airport? I'll call you back. You gotta fucking Google what airports in London. Just say Heathrow. Everyone
Yeah.
knows about Heathrow. Just say Heathrow, love.
Yeah.
There's that one. Obviously David. She ended up being real, but like, let's be honest. Like,
Oh, the Ukrainian woman.
yeah.
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 He was
TLC
also
paid her
very
a lot of
creepy.
money to show up. Like let's
Yeah.
be yeah. But I do feel sad that he did spend like she did lead him on. He spent a lot of money trying to see her. However, I mean, you have to know at that point that like that's kind of sad. And also the one that just happened this past season on the Before 90 Days that it wasn't the girl she was talking. It was a guy he was talking to, but
But you forgot my favorite one. She also was real, but they
who?
never met.
Who?
Caesar.
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot about Caesar. Oh my
I love
God.
Caesar so much. He has such a good heart. Like I love that man. He's so
Yeah.
sweet.
So
He's
sweet.
so awkward.
So
And
awkward.
he just doesn't know. But like I really wish I knew where he gave pedicures because I would totally go. I would totally go to see Caesar to get my nails done all the time. Like I think he's such a nice guy. And I felt so bad, but I was like, dude, come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
I know. I was like, not
Yeah, Caesar
real.
was the first one and he was that was just so.
Oh,
I think that's what got my husband hooked on it. Was he was like, is this guy for real? He can't possibly think that this woman is coming to see him. He can't possibly. Like
I know. That makes me, again, that makes me sad. I think what makes me the sad about it is that people do pry on people for being lonely. That's the
yeah.
part that just makes me
This
sad.
last one was the worst though because then
Yeah.
like he went to what was it, Barbados?
Yeah, Barbados.
Yeah, so he went to Barbados and like dropped off these clothes and that man was watching him. Like that's scary.
Yeah.
Like that's really scary. Like something bad could have happened. Like if I bet you if Tyree wasn't as big as Tyree was,
Hmm.
something bad might have happened to him. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like that
100%.
was
Yeah.
scary. And
Yeah.
I felt so bad for him because like luckily Tyree was a big dude and those guys were probably like, okay, that's
Yeah.
let's not mess with him anymore. Just we're done here.
Yeah.
Um and
We did our fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I felt so bad for him. Like that, I felt like this last one was the worst one. Like Yolanda, I mean, yeah, but she never actually like. Luckily, her kids were there to say like, "Mom,
Yeah.
no."
Exactly. Like Williams is not real,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I'm trying to think of fucking Mary and Brandon. This pat constant in communication with each other. Like she broke up with him because he was sitting next to a female person. Like on the plane. He has no control over that. And
Mm-hmm.
it was like all of her insecurities. But yet she could turn the Wi-Fi off and go hang out with her friends. Like I didn't see that as a double standard. Like
Yeah.
that, but like I think at the end, I think they really did grow ish,
Yeah.
kind of. Like obviously their wedding was ruined by bugs, which sucks. Um,
I the podcast that I listened to about 90 Day, the lady was like, okay, so listen, there's a lot of people on here that like freak out and say they're having anxiety attacks or panic attacks like on their wedding day, and they're really just like having wedding day things.
yeah.
She was like, a real anxiety attack is Brandon's mother with the bugs. That is
Yeah.
a real anxiety attack, people. Okay, that's real.
Yes.
That's what an anxiety attack looks like. So don't come to me with your anxiety attack nonsense unless that's what's happening. Like,
Right? Okay, but did you hear why she reacted that way?
no.
Okay, because so she used to be a former drug addict. So she was having
Oh,
PTSD of
mm-hmm.
thinking that somebody, like something was
Yeah.
actually on her.
Mm-hmm. I knew
I,
that I knew that, well, and see, that's what I love Brandon's mom
yeah,
because, like, you know, I like one of my best friend's dad is got pretty much the same story. Like he was addicted for many, many years.
yeah,
Went to rehab like 7 times. Like the seventh time was the time he wanted to be there.
yeah.
And like and now he has a really successful contracting business, like does really well for himself. Um, and so Brandon's mom is trying to be like, you guys, like, trust me, if you don't work on your own issues, like
Mhm.
it's just not going to be good. Like you have to work on your own issues or you're going to fall into the things that I fell into,
Mhm.
or you're just going to be super depressed or whatever. Like she wants to help them so bad. Like she's mean to her at first because she was like, this is ridiculous, like my son can't control these things you're being mad about.
Yeah,
But then she, like tried to understand her story and be like, okay, like now that he's there, it is better. But like you also still need to go to therapy to work on why
ab
you get so mad about these things. Like, so,
absolutely.
but yeah, now that you said that, like that makes a lot of sense. Like I had, I knew that she had struggled with addiction, but to feel like bugs are on, like that would be
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would send you straight back to like a terrible place, and that probably was terrible.
No, because I didn't I don't okay, I don't watch all the seasons anymore because there's too fucking many. But
Hmm.
I watch YouTubers review the episodes, so I'm like, I can do a 15-minute video versus like 45 minutes to an hour of like all of these continuously
Uh-huh.
going on. And they had My Tots. I don't know if you guys have watched her. She's amazing on YouTube. She's like a talking potato head. She does a really good job on deep dives, and she says she's like the reason she freaked out like this was because of X, Y, and Z. Because she had stepped
Yeah.
out after the episode saying like that's why I was freaking out that bad. I was like, that's so sad. Like that
Yeah.
makes me sad. There's one couple that didn't make me sad on the other way, and I don't know their names, but the fake Instagram couple who fought about a fucking Instagram photo, like, no, you don't
Oh,
them.
that 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 lady
Yeah,
also needs a lot of therapy.
100%.
Um, because I'm also obsessed with the Amish, right?
Okay, yeah.
And she grew up Amish, and there's a lot of things about that culture that are wild.
Yes.
Wild, wild, wild. So, if you don't know, the Amish aren't allowed to have mirrors or faces on their dolls,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a form of vanity. All right. So if she grew up Amish, the reason she does what she does and she looks the way she looks and she puts so much emphasis on that is because of that. When she
Mm-hmm.
was a child for years, she wasn't allowed to look at herself in the mirror. So, like, yeah, the things that he says to her are gross. Um, but she doesn't understand why.
Yeah.
Like, even though she's like in her 40s,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's just, it's a very, I don't know, anyone who comes from any sort of extreme religious group like that, like, to get out of that mindset is like super, super hard. Like, I grew up in a
Okay.
small town, and like to even get out of the groupthink mindset of like being able to like have your own thoughts that are different than other people's
Mm-hmm.
are like that's hard, you
Mm-hmm.
know? So like sometimes I try to like, remember what people's stories are, and like this is why this is why they're acting like this. Because like that's just Shekinah. Is that her name?
I
I
think
can't remember what his name
it's like
is.
Shekinah and her sister's like Shakia or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it is Shekinah.
but yeah, everybody was like, why would she stay with him? He's saying all these gross things. And it's like, yeah, but she thinks those are nice. Like she thinks those are nice things.
Yeah.
Like if you know about the way that like Amish people are, like it's just when you get out of that, and it's hard to like unlearn some of those things, or like not, if you've never had a meal your whole life, you've seen your reflection in what, a pond maybe, or like in a window you're passing by a building, like that's just, of course you're going to have a crazy
Hmm.
focus on your physical appearance if you weren't allowed to look at yourself growing up.
Exactly. Okay, I hope she finds happiness not with him.
Yeah.
I was
Her poor daughter, like,
oh my God, I know. Sad.
yeah,
I was trying to think of like any other crazy couples. I can think of Emily and Kobe, who,
they're from like an hour away from where I live.
oh shit, that's
Yeah.
funny. I
Fun fact
remember,
too. Their whole I was dying the entire time because they're like, Emily from Salina, Kansas. And then they would show videos of her hometown. It was not her hometown. Because I'll tell you this right now. Her hometown, garbage, trash, basura, terrible. So all the pictures and all the videos of her hometown were of where I live. The town where I live, where she went to college, not where she actually lives.
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I had nothing bad about them. I think she just wanted another baby and forgot how babies were made and
Yeah.
like how to not have a baby. What else?
It's probably doing fine though, because you haven't heard like anything about them.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
he got
obviously
a job like right after he got his green card.
yeah.
But yeah, so I always wondered if like I would ever, because she went to school here. Um
Okay.
It's like you like all those pictures that you saw of her like in college. She was like I recognized the places,
Yeah.
um, and so I wondered if I would ever see them like come into my restaurant, but
No.
no.
No, no, no. I am saving the grossest one for last because he's the grossest. And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. He's about Yi Tall. Um,
Oh, I was gonna say we also haven't talked about Danielle and Mohammed and what Mohammed
oh,
said
oh
on
my,
national television.
oh,
You
ew.
told the entire world that your wife had a smelly vagina.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
Like
It's
I literally gasped and was speechless when I heard that on the TV live. I was like, "What did he just say?"
yeah. I know.
Like,
He's so gross. Like
oh,
Danielle, like if you're ever listening to this, like if I doubt you will, but if you ever do listen to this, like move on with your life, okay? Like he's not gonna get deported. Like I know you've just tried the last time again to get him deported. He's just not gonna it's just not gonna happen. So like
delete his number,
delete his number, move
block
on.
him.
It's a part of
Yeah,
your life. You're never gonna get back, but move on. Because get a boy, like I think she has a boyfriend.
that those group of friends that she had too on those last few seasons, I don't know about them. Like they
No,
seemed like they just wanted to be on television,
I
and that
agree.
she was their way because they messaged her on Instagram DMs.
Yeah.
Like it just, I'm like this. She's so like she just reminds me of my stepsister. Like she just really loves people and wants to be everyone's friend and will be friends with anybody. And so then people just like take advantage of them all the time. And it's like sometimes you have to see the bad in people. Sometimes.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
right? And like Muhammad, he moved on.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be with you. Like, I'm sorry. He used you for a green card.
He didn't even kiss you on your wedding day.
No, he did not. Like, take that as a side and like but like that is something that I think we kind of just nailed. Like I some people think that like, oh, like this person's from here and like the only reason they want to come here because they want to have a green card. Some couples of this that is true.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
there are a lot of the couples that actually genuinely love each other. And I can't think of this couple. It was a couple seasons ago. She was the beekeeper.
Yes, I love
Yes.
them so
They
much.
were so nice. Like he
So
just
that's what that's yeah, that's what I love is the couples that meet organically like that still and not the like
yes.
date like ones because they met on like a beekeepers Facebook group and
Yes.
um dude so I don't live that far from Omaha either and
Yeah.
I want so badly to drive to Omaha to go to their store like I want to go to
Yeah.
the store so bad.
Right? And like he just didn't like I think there was just like a language barrier of being like, hey, like he didn't speak the language. There was miscommunications. She was just getting frustrated. I get
Yeah, they
that.
do have a little girl now though and it's so sweet like
Yeah.
um they got a surrogate from the Ukraine or something like that.
Yeah.
Um and so they like have their own daughter now. But yeah, like they were and he was trying so hard and he tried so hard with her sons too. And like the oldest one obviously was not like that's just the way that they are. Like he was that age where he was like, no.
Yeah.
But her littlest boy and him like were so cute.
Yeah.
I
So
like
cute.
so cute. Um but yeah, like and that was just like they knew each other for a long time, but cultural differences are things that are going to have to be worked out. Like when you live together in person,
Hmm.
that's what the 90 days are for. They're not to figure out if you want to get married. It's just to like work out living together because you're
Yeah.
from different countries. Like that, even if you're not from a different country, you move in with somebody, you're like, why do you load the dishwasher that way? Why, it's just like,
Yeah, it's fucking growing pains. Like when me and my
yeah,
husband first moved in together like 6 years ago, like it took like almost a year for us to both kind of be like, okay, this is how one another does everything,
yeah. And you just like
right?
get used to it. Like that's what the 90 days is supposed to be about, like not I think I want to do this, so let's bring him over. It's supposed to be like, you know, there is this get out of jail free card, I guess you could say, if you move in and it turns bad,
Yeah.
then you don't have to get married. Like that's what it's supposed to be, not the other way around. But
Right.
yeah, the
Okay.
best for last.
The best for last. He's about ye tall. Um, his name is Ed, or and he's the most fucking grossest human I've ever seen in my life. He's so gross. He's so gross. Like,
Every every everything. Everything about him.
yeah. Like when he like lied, because originally it wasn't Liz, it was Rosa, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. And she's like, can
for the
I
Philippines.
Rosa for the Philippines? I'm just like, this is so fucking gross. Like how he's talking to her, be like, oh, if you, like, can you shave your legs? Oh, I'll shave my beard. Like that's so gross. Like guys don't
And then
give a
brought her
fuck about her.
toothpaste.
Yeah, I bought her toothpaste because her breath is gross. Like the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck
It's like
out of here.
in your hair. And she specifically told you that she has some sort of a condition. Like she like literally picked up her toothpaste and was like, I have a condition. Here's my toothpaste. I can't help it. Like
Yeah. And so then they're like, you know what? Like, he's like, I love Rosa. It doesn't work out. And then he gets with Liz. Poor fucking Liz. Okay. Liz, like, they break up and get back together. Like, honestly, like, the first time I was like, okay, I don't know what he sees, like, she sees in him. They broke up, they get back together. Some girls have a weakness. It's, creature is a force of habit, right? So, or comfort is a force of habit. Anyways, long story short, I'm like, okay, well, okay, like let's get cozy, let's get comfortable. But like the 18th time they've broken up and got back together, like she's just with him. And
yeah.
it's gross. It's just gross. And I don't like Ed. And he just needs to stop. And like, yeah, he cut his hair, but like when he washed his hair at the Maydays, I was like, this is so fucking gross.
Just the thing with his family though, like I'm like, if his mom seems so sweet. I mean, at first his
Yeah.
mom and like all that stuff, and then his mom was like, "No, Liz is bad for you." Like that. Like if your mom and like every single person, that's my thing too. And the same with Shekinah. Like if okay, sure, one person in your family doesn't like your spouse, cool,
Cool.
that happens.
Happens.
Your entire family,
Yeah.
your entire family
Right.
doesn't think that you're in a healthy relationship. Like it's yeah, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe I don't know. I heard my boss say it for the first time, but he was like, if you walk in a room and it smells like shit, look for a pile of shit. If you walk in every room and it smells like a pile of shit, maybe look at your shoe.
Mhm. That is so true. Um, we also have one more couple I can't believe we forgot to talk about. Literally Chantel and Pedro.
Oh, I can't decide. I can't decide if Karen is Karen all the time or if Karen is a character.
Yeah,
Because the way that she talks and her mannerisms and like the way that she speaks, I'm like, are you a cartoon?
I
What
know.
what
I know.
you're not real. Like you can't possibly be a real person that exists in the world. What? This has got to be a character. It can't be real.
I know.
Like Pedro, I think is the only normal one in the whole situation. His
Yeah.
family's nuts.
His family's
Chantal's
fucking
nuts.
nuts.
Chantel's family's nuts. I think Pedro is the only one
Yep.
that might have some sense. Like,
Well, I couldn't agree more. Honestly, my favorite line from 90 Day Fiancé history is when they're at, I think they're in Dominican, and they're like, she just called me a bitch, which she didn't. She didn't call her a bitch. Chantel didn't pick up the Spanish punta. I think it's either house or punta. It's
door.
like, yeah, yeah. So, and it's just like, You will not disrespect me like this today. Gets a bitch whore ass cunt fucking something. And I quote that shit all the time. I'm like, you will not disrespect me like this today. Good night.
Bitch ass
Just
slut
slut
ass
ass
whore.
whore. Yes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I got five quick thoughts before we're gonna wrap up because like I have to go soon because I have to legally go change my last name. I got my marriage certificate yesterday and I have 90 days after my wedding to change my name before I have to pay for it. And my 90 days
Oh,
ends. Yeah,
we
my
have to
90
pay for it all the time.
no, I have 90 days. My 90 days ends tomorrow. I
Oh no.
shit you not. Tomorrow's 3 months of me getting married. So I'm like, okay, I got five hot takes. Paul runs everywhere. I fucking love Paul running. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Like Paul and Karini, Paul?
I think so, where he just like he runs away from like every
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm like hilarious. I need more of that. The guy that offered the prenup in the Ferris wheels so she couldn't leave. And I
Yeah,
can't
they're from Kansas City.
yes, I can't think of his name. He's super nice and like he played a prank on her. First off, I want to say if he took me to the rundown house, I would have been like, "Oh my god, you owned a home? Oh my god, this
Yeah.
is like I wouldn't give a shit if it was a rundown. I'd be like, that's awesome, like cool."
Doesn't he
Um,
own the home though? Like, isn't
yeah,
that like a
yeah,
rental that?
yeah, he owns it just so he can say that like that's like he owns this like his childhood home.
Yeah,
Um, okay, I'm trying to think of like more hot
but
takes.
I'm trying to forget by I forget what his name is.
I it I know
She was beautiful though.
she was fucking beautiful. She was from
Trinidad
Trinidad,
and Tobago. Yeah,
Trinidad Tobago. Yeah, she was so pretty and um oh okay oh Soldier Boy, fucking
oh
Kimberly.
god.
He just wants a PS4 and a Mac. Okay,
Well, what? Who was he
for
with
me.
before that though? That blonde lady. What was?
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
But yeah, Kimberly and her Michael Jackson thing, and thinking that he was like also like, doesn't he look? No.
No, he looks nothing like that. Jenny is terrible, and I hate that because we share the same name, and I hate anytime I hear the word Jenny and 90 Day Fiance is like, yeah, she looks like a sad puppy.
Yeah,
She and then last but not least, the scream heard around the world, Kimberly. Oh my god.
I don't think I've screamed pretty loud before. I don't think I've ever screamed like that.
And I don't think they like you know how they'll edit in movies and stuff where it's like a zombie scream. No, I think that was like
Yeah, no, that was real. That was definitely real. And I just so from what it seems like from the tell-all, she's back in America and she doesn't have plans on going back for like a couple months, at
yeah.
least like 3 4 months. So I'm just like, why? That's always my confusion with the other day. It's like these people that go to the other they're like not really moving there.
No,
They're
there's
not really moving to the other country. Like I feel like Kenny is the only one that's ever from the
yes.
start packed his SUV and moved to us to Mexico. Like
Right?
everybody else just goes there on like a trial run basis and then that's it. Another couple that got lost that I love is um I don't know why all my favorite women to either love or hate are from Georgia. So like Angela, I love to hate Angela. She's from Georgia.
Yes.
Molly is my favorite. Well, I
Oh my
love
oh
Molly.
my god, Molly's so sweet.
Yeah, she's so sweet. And then that one lady who's like the restaurant manager, but she uh,
Oh
brought over
yeah.
that Tunisia Zied.
Ziad.
Puppet
Oh my.
Ed, and he was so funny too. Like I really genuinely think that they loved each other, and he was so nice.
Oh
Like
my God. So that was Jason's, because Jason loves 90 Day Fiance. That was his favorite because, like, this fucker doesn't know he's on reality TV. He's like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah, I
baby.
love Ed. He was so cute.
He
Like
was so cute. Yeah, I liked her. I mean, I think she was having Peter Pan syndrome. I just,
oh yeah.
adult 40-year-old women shouldn't wear pigtails. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody listening to this. They were not fucking even. She looked funny. And then she had to get married earlier because it was Ramadan and her dress didn't fit, so she had a corset and a white skirt. Hot mess. Just a hot mess across the board. But I did like them. She was really cool. Her kids, though, her kids sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The kid
I think that's kind of like the most of the way of, like, usually
yeah.
it sucks. But I think this is kind of like a good place to cap off. Like most, okay, so like most dating couples fall under these couple categories. White woman in her 50s finds somebody from the Middle East, probably 19 to 28. Usually in there, and then they don't get along because the guy wants kids, she doesn't want kids anymore, or the cultural differences of being like served hand and foot. You then have the guy having a midlife crisis, like the Mormon guy who sniggly poop, whatever the fuck, that just fucking anything that moved, and the creepy guy that was with Hazel, but Hazel was not real. Like that's like the dude. I don't know his name. I never watched his season, but his fucking makeshift girlfriend that looked nothing like her photos.
Mm.
Okay, so like you have that category with guy midlife crisis getting a girl from Thailand or anywhere like that that's
So
like
I figured
super young.
I also figured that out.
Yeah.
Why so I was like, why are all of these men in their 50s, like 50s and 60s, most of the time they're getting women from like these Southeast Asian countries? Why? Why
Yeah.
is that? When I started streaming, I realized it's because they're up at like midnight or 1 a.m. and
Mhm.
it's half a days away. It's
Yes.
half a day away. So it's like noon or something like that over there. So when they're lonely up late at night, the only other people that are awake are somebody who it's like 10 or noon
Yeah.
or whatever, like half a world away. And so that's what's happening is those are the women that they can talk to when
Right.
they're up super late at night doing nothing. Because most everybody else is like, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. Because now when I stream super late because I do it after my son goes to bed.
Yeah.
So it's like 9:30 or 10. And a lot of the people that I talk to and a lot of my viewers are Australian or Southeast Asian
Mhm.
because
They're
it's like,
awake.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool. I can now I've now almost done my day. I can now watch this or do this.
yeah.
I'm trying to think of the other categories. You
Young
have
couples that want to get famous in LA.
young couples that want to get famous in LA, and then you have the actual genuine humans that actually love each other. And
Yeah.
they're like, I feel like that kind of is the category. I can't remember what was, if she was a couple seasons ago, after her season, like, I just can't do this anymore. She was like a yoga instructor or something, and like he wanted somebody else to sponsor him because he just wanted to get married so he could start bring sending money over to his family. I can't remember his name, but he also wanted her to make him breakfast, and he also had to have a bidet, and he wouldn't do it because he didn't know how to do it. So she had to like hire a plumber, and she had a disabled son, and I can't think of her name. It's bugging me.
Um, I don't remember.
Hmm.
I the only the only person I can remember about demanding a bidet was Jihoon and Devin.
Okay. So that's that, but though she also had to have a bidet, and she got a plumber, and the plumber was a guy, and he lost his mind on her because it was another guy in the house that
Oh
wasn't her.
yeah.
Yeah, that couple. That couple.
Oh, she was from like New Mexico or something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
I don't remember what happened to them.
I don't know. They got married.
God, what season were they even on?
I
So
know.
I feel like you're either you love each other and you're like super happy and you become like a staple, you
Yes.
know, stay, or you get lost, or you just like if you're one of the couples that actually loves each other and is together, then you either stay on the show and you're like on the other spinoffs, or you just get lost.
Yeah. Right.
Because
And
there's the other ones too, like one from the first season. It was the Mormon guy that found his wife in Brazil. They
mhm.
have like 2 children. They were always really nice and no drama, except
Yeah.
for the fact he wanted to model and he was like, no. But I think he said that not because he didn't want people looking at her really, but because she was a very naive girl from Brazil in
Yeah.
California in the modeling world. And he was like, I don't think you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
I don't think
It's
what this is.
yeah, it right.
I'm saving you from a whole world that you don't understand. But yeah, and then like Kenny and Armando are super nice, but they stay because people love them.
Yes.
So it's like it's you stay because people love you or they hate you. Like
Yeah. You're
that's why
basically
we have to keep seeing Big Ed and Angela is because people are like, but
uh
watching it because you're like, what are they gonna say now? Like
yeah.
what is it now?
Like, okay, do I hate Angela? I do because I find her really annoying. But if Michael ended up getting to the States, I probably would watch it. I'd
Yeah,
be really curious to see him in America. Um, but yeah, again, that's why I think we need to do there's already like 700 spin-offs today. 90 Day, let's do a quick follow-up on the couples that we just didn't bother following up on, or it didn't get umbrellaed out to different locations. Because there's one, I don't even remember her name. She had fun colored hair, purple hair. She was on before the 90 Day. And the only reason I remember her, I don't remember her name, she's like, people think I look like a Sim from The Sims, the game that you played as a kid that no one plays anymore. That was her soundbite. And I was like, bitch, there's a fucking whole Sims community. Okay.
there's a lot of us.
You just ruined like the Sims community for like, no, 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 no. We still play. We are adult children. We still play. But like that, but like I don't know her name. I don't know whatever happened to her. So I'd like a 90 Day Fiance, like an Oprah Winfrey special. Where are they? Where are they now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't put them on Pillow Talk. Don't put
Because
them on.
they have that stupid Bears All one on Discovery Plus that's not on TLC.
Oh, okay.
They talk about it, like they talk about some couples a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but like for like 5 minutes. Like they brought back like couples that people had wanted, like had messaged them saying like, hey, what happened to so and so? What happened to so and so? And it was like the blonde girl that was with the Nicaraguan man that was in like a boy band and he left the boy band to
Oh,
be with
yeah.
her in America.
Yeah.
Well, like they're still friends, but they're divorced because she like came out as bisexual later
Okay.
and he like didn't really know like they didn't want to navigate that together, like mutually decided that like he
Yeah.
wasn't meeting her, she wasn't like cheating on him, and like they were on the show together and like said that like they're still friends
Yeah.
but they're not married anymore. And so like I don't know why they didn't keep doing that.
Yeah.
Like why wasn't 90 Day Bears all that? Instead it was just like the same couples airing their drama in between seasons and people just didn't really watch it. And so I think they kind of like canceled it. But if they would have kept it as like here are the couples, but maybe they just don't want to, you know, like maybe
Maybe.
some of those couples that we don't hear about, they just like don't want to have anything to do with it. Like TLC has tried to be like, hey, how are you? And they're like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Right? Like we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. And I think I got one more final question and we're gonna wrap this up. Who is your ultimate favorite couple that we've not talked about yet, if there's any left?
Um, I'm trying to think of trying to think of the random ones that people forget about. But I think you just always remember the big ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just say, okay, so my top three favorite
Okay.
ones are Kenny and Armando,
Obs.
and I do like David and Annie now. I liked following their story. And then Lauren and Alexi.
Yeah.
I felt terrible for her because people at the beginning kept saying that she was a drug addict and that she was a tweaker. And like I'd notice her very first season, like she would always she blinks her eye a lot. That's
Mm-hmm.
what her is like she'll blink this eye or like she'll move this side of her mouth, but it's very subtle. So if you don't like she didn't tell anybody that she had Tourette's until like after